Before I got into investing, I was very bad with money. I don't know the difference between wants and need. I don't know the difference between assets and liabilities. I was always after the next shiny object. Once I get my paycheck, that's once I get my salary, I will blow it all. It's either I end up buying the newest iPhone or the newest gadget in town, or end up I'm buying clothes or things that I don't even need, thing that doesn't provide value at all in my life. That's how I've been spending my money. Well, this boils down to, school system. This boils down to family as well. So there was no, like when growing up, I was not taught about savings, investing, and all of that. So I learned the hard way. After spending a lot of years spending money, buying things I don't need. Then I had to go back to start knowing how to save, how to budget, and all of that. So the breakthrough came this particular day. I went to a friend of mine, his house. I went to my friend's house. Then reaching there, I saw him reading a book. This book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Guys, to be honest with you, that book is a lifesaver for me. That book opened my eyes to the world of finances, the world of investing, the world of savings, budgeting, difference between assets and liabilities. Because Robert Kiyosaki, he talked more. He talked so much about assets, liabilities in that book. I asked him, what was this book for? He said, this book helps in finances, knowing the difference between assets and liabilities. Then on the day I went to his house, I actually went to his house to show him my newest gadget, right? The newest phone I bought that day. He saw the phone in my hand, was like, do you bought this phone? I said, yes, I bought the phone today. He looked at me, he said, do you ever plan for the future? Like, what's your future plans? I said, well, I want to be rich one day. I want to be financially stable. He said, well, like, if you want those things, it's not going to happen overnight, right? This is the time you start building it. I said, how do you mean? He said, okay, you know what's going to happen? That I need to read this book, The Rich Dad Poor Dad. He said, okay, I need to go to a bookstore and buy it. I said, I'm not somebody who is good with, reading physical book, like a book. Once you get a book, reading physical book, I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to go on the internet. I'm going to download it. That is the PDF part of it and read. He said, okay, I should try. Right instantly, I went online and downloaded the Rich Dad Poor Dad, the PDF part of it. So there, right with him, I started reading some pages. Then when I was reading pages, it got to a point where it was so interesting to me. I said, okay, I need to finish this book. It took me time because that's the first book I ever read like all my life. Starting to read books about finance. Though I've read novels, fiction stories, and all of that, but that's the first financial book I was reading. Like I started reading all my life. So I got to a point, I read the book. It was so interesting when he was differentiating his rich dad, poor dad, and everything. Then I continued reading that book. That book opened my eyes to the world of finances, investing, and also what education as well. So a lot of things that we in school we are not taught in school, finances, budgeting, and everything. So after reading that first book, I had to ask my friend, "Hey, do you have more?" He said, "Of course, I should read the business of the 21st century, the same Robert Kiyosaki as well." Then I don't have the strength, or maybe I don't have the like. I'm not more of reading physical book. I still went online and read the PDF on my phone. Then I read the business of 21st century. I read all. Now, do you know that after reading the Read That Poor Dad, now I was able to differentiate between want and need, asset and liabilities. That's when I realized that, oh, I spend so much money changing my phone every month, buying new phone, buying new gadgets and all of that. If I had actually, if I had known, I would have done so much better with that money I spent on buying those gadgets. And the funny thing is, it doesn't appreciate in value, rather it decreases. Now this is how I end up spending money. If you don't know, let me explain to you about what I'm doing with phone. It's more like I'm flipping phone, but I'm not selling it, but rather I'm selling it in a lower price. Let's say, for example, this month the new iPhone came out, and the new iPhone is like iPhone, for example, iPhone 14. I end up buying it this month, and next month iPhone 15 comes out. I'll end up what swapping the 14 to 15. I'll end up what adding extra money on top of it to get 15. Now, once 16 comes out, I'll end up using this 15 to swap to add money to get 16. That's how I've been spending money all over and over again, trying to get the newest iPhone, trying to be the coolest guy in street, on the street. All these things doesn't add value to me. But after reading that book now, it changed my mindset. Then I know that okay, I need to stop doing this and I need to start positioning myself in better things. After reading the business of 21st century, which is the second book, yeah, then I went to YouTube. Then I started watching videos on budgeting, income streams, savings, investing, and all of that. That was how I discovered Dan Lok. So Dan Lok is the king of high ticket sales. If you don't know, you can actually go to YouTube right now and search him. So I read his book, which is the FU money, which is the FU money means money that you need that will actually what make you to stand out. I read that book. After reading the book again, I read his second copy of the same book again. After reading that again, then I went ahead and read The Millionaire Fast Lane. This is where it gives me, like, I got chills reading this book. The book, like, I can't get enough of that book. Right now, I'm still going back to reread that book again because I have a lot I need to pick from that book. This is how I actually now learned about systems, building businesses, putting systems in place that will work for you while you are old, system that's actually what build those build those things that you want. The Millionaire Fast Lane taught me so much about that book. Investing, stocks market, the ETFs, different income streams. So you learn to build systems with those book. Having those knowledge now, that's when I start looking into finances. I start looking into investing. What can I invest? Then I start asking myself this question, okay, where should I start investing? Coupled with the fact that I have limited resources, but what can I start doing now that will put me ahead of the 1% of those who don't know what I know now? That's where I start looking into, okay, stocks market, ETFs, the crypto market as well. So after reading all these things, that's when I got to find out about crypto and everything. So after reading all these books, I still went to YouTube. I was still watching videos, financial experts, different income streams. That was how I got into buying my first investment, which is Ethereum. If you don't know about Ethereum, it's a crypto asset, all right? So I end up buying Ethereum. After Ethereum, I end up buying different crypto assets. Though even I lost money at some point because I had no prior knowledge on the crypto crashes, when to buy, when to sell, and everything. Holding to your dear life and everything. So, but at some point, I actually got to understand that okay, this is how you play this game differently for you not to lose, and the crypto market is very, very volatile. So as time progresses, I got into stocks as well, got into ETFs. So now what am I trying to say basics here? These books gave me a new different mindset. Especially it helped me to grasp a strong knowledge, on difference between assets and liabilities and why I should take my finances very, very serious. The one thing I picked out from this book is I can never walk my way to riches. It's not possible. The life which I want, the life that I want by design, for me to actually get there, I cannot get there working, be on a job. I can't save myself to my financial world freedom. It's not possible. So I need to set up machines. According to the Millionaire Fast Lane, you need to build systems, or you need to have asset asset yielding the machines. Like for example, I'm trying to kind of like recall the word he used. He calls it having things that you put aside that is generating those income for you. He calls it asset generating tools. Let me just say it that way. That once you have all these things in place, it will work for you, even while you are asleep, even on your old age. All you just is start those things, start those tools now, put it in place, build those systems that will work for you, even to your sick bed. And now somebody who is first starting out, maybe somebody who doesn't have his finances figured out yet, you don't have your budget figured out yet, you don't know about much about investing right now. I would say, first of all, you need to change your mindset because one, here, everything you get to reach here before you get rich in your pocket. This is something I also learned reading these books as well. Also watching a lot of YouTube tutorials, trying to get better with money. You get rich here before you get rich in your pocket. And again, for you to actually get rich in your pocket, you need to get rich here because you sell what is here in exchange for money. For example, if you're someone who is into services, like you provide services to people or to businesses as well, to brands, you need to sell what you have here in exchange for money. So having already read all this book now, that's when I got into developing more skills, learning more technical skills, got into web development, social media management, for me to actually have what income generating skills, income generating assets, not just from buying, not from investing, but income generating what skills that I can actually sell for money. So for somebody, like I said earlier, if you're somebody who is on this journey, I would say you read those books first. You need to change your mindset. Example, you need to figure out your budgeting, like how, like know the difference between asset and like and liabilities. That's one thing I think you should do. And again, be careful of the next shiny object. For example, yeah, of course, we live in a life whereby everybody's trying to prove something. I'm better than you, you're not better than me, I'm better than you, I have this more than you, and all of that. But guess what? After reading these books, I care nothing, I care less about those things. One thing that I like, I know, I always tell myself is, you're not better than me, and I'm not better than you. We're just two people who are trying to improve their lives on a daily basis. This is what I keep telling myself. It's more like an affirmation. I've coined myself in. So even though I see you today, maybe driving car, I'm not moved by that. Hey, just for you to know, even while I was on my journey building my assets, it got to a point where I have the money to buy a car, but I didn't. All my friends, they have cars, everybody move like be on a car, moving around, but I don't have cars. To them, they think I don't have the money to buy the car, but I know quite what I do have the money to buy the car, but I'm looking forward into something bigger, something greater as well. This is where all my mindset about money, finances, knowing the difference between assets and liability, this is where all it comes in place because I have read, I have understood. I'm trying to do better right now. So this is something that you can do to yourself as well. Remember what I keep saying. You cannot walk yourself up to way to riches. It's not possible. Age will damage you. The more you grow old every day, the more your strength reduces as well, and the more your earning power. The thing is, when it comes to earning power, the more you learn, the more you earn higher, the more you increase your earning power as well. Because the more you enrich your mind here, the more your earning power increases as well. Because the more you can sell what you have here for money. I've sold a lot of things I know here for money, listening for money. People pay for my consultation, for my travel agency, and also what people also pay for me to work with them in my media agency as well. So these are things that I've developed with time, and it's something I'm also developing right now. So all these are my assets generate. Also those are my asset generating incomes, my skill sets, and things that I've put in place. So I believe you as a person, you can as well do it. This is how I did this. Started off by reading what Rich Dad Poor Dad, Business of Century, the FU Money by Dan Log, the Millionaire Fascinating. Even I read about um Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins and the whole lot of them, even the one that Robert Kiyosaki wrote with Donald Trump as well, and all these lot of books, Atomic Habit, the psychology of money. All these books helped me to who I am today. Like I look at money differently. Money is a tool to me. The way I see money is I see differently. Even right now, I get to talk to people, educate people about money, about investing, about budgeting, about income. Trying to have different sorts of incomes and all of that. I do have one-on-one talk with people every day. We'll sit down and talk about these things. Now, how am I able to get to this stage where I get to talk to people and educate people? Is because I personally have worked on myself. I got to this stage I am right now because I decided I want something different. I want a change. Change can always happen unless when you as a person decide it. I wanted change, so I went for it. I decided to change. So what am I trying to say in essence? You can as well do it. If I can, you can as well. I come from an African family, and in African families, nobody talks about money. Your parents don't teach you about money, but rather you end up learning what the hard way after making a lot of mistakes, causing mistakes, spending so much, being bad with money. That's when you start educating yourself that hey, you need to know about money. Before I actually got into knowing more about money, I'm already in my late 20s. I've spent so much, losing so much as well. But because I still not give up, I'm still on that journey right now. I'm in my early 30s, doing much better than I was doing before. So no matter the age you are, no matter where you are, no matter your position, I'm holding on to you, rooting for you as well. You can as well do better. And I hope this video helps to motivate you and put you out there to do better as well. All right. So if you have any questions, please, you are more than welcome to leave it on the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, support the movement, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. So a quick one before I let you guys go. I'm building a community of like-minded people who are taking their finances serious, people who want more out of life, people who are looking at ways of increasing their income streams, investing and all of that. So if you want to be part of those, comment below. You'll be invited to the community. We also meet people who are also part of the journey as well. And yeah, nothing else. It's more like we know networking, learning from each other, growing from there, and seeing what the future holds for us. And I hope to see you in the community. All right, and yeah, see you on the next one. Peace, guy. Follow from subscribe for the channel, support the movement, and peace and bye. Thank you.